To the degree at which you want to succeed is to the degree at which you will put in the effort.
Yeah, it was literally within a day I got my first client in a market.
I have an emergency video for you guys. We just wrapped up one of the best free SMMA coaching calls that I have ever been on. We had a guy hop in who got his first SMMA client in 8 hours. We went deep into the mindset of the winning SMMA owners and how they think and how they operate and what separates them apart from the rest. And we completely flipped a lot of things within the SMMA space up on its head and came up with a completely new way to revolutionize the space. Now, this might be sounding too good to be true, but I promise if you give 20, 30, 40 minutes of your time, I guarantee you will get 10x the value in returns. Without further ado, I'm gonna send it into this video. And if you wanna join the next free SMMA coaching calls, hop into our Discord community because we are hosting these twice a week and you can participate in the next one.
Hey Dylan, how you doing?
Good, are you?
So how much outreach is enough outreach? Because I'm always feeling like I'm not.
You're just trying to do the minimum, right?
Yeah.
Why?
No, not the minimum. I always feel like I'm not doing enough.
I talked to an agency owner last week, and he's very successful. He does $250,000 a month with his agency, and he sends 100 to 200 outreach messages a day.
But he has a staff, right?
Yeah, but he has from day one. That's how he built the company in the first place.
I see. Okay, thank you.
Right? It's like to the degree at which you want to succeed is to the degree at which you will put in the effort. Right? If you just kind of want it, for me, it's I kind of care if my room's clean, and therefore I kind of clean my room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if I really wanted to, have a clean room, I would go in there and I would really clean my room because I know what it takes to clean my room. It's just to the degree at which I want it is to the degree that I will put in the effort, right? So their answer is there is no minimum, there is no maximum. But, if you do 10 push-ups a day, you're not going to get as strong as if you do 100 push-ups a day. And it's, how fast do you want that end desirable result? And to what degree do you want that end desirable result?
Yeah, that's really helpful. Thank you.
If you fail to deliver on those results, what is the best way to handle that? And what's the best way to bounce back from that when it comes to future people that you want to sign?
There's two things. Number one is, first of all, there's a term in the military at which you never go to somebody with a problem until you also have a solution. Okay, so I'm not saying that about in this dialogue. I'm saying that it's when you go to your clients with a problem, if you go to your clients and be like, yeah, so this ain't working, they're not going to be very happy. But if you go to your clients and say, yeah, this isn't working, here's why this isn't working, and here's my plan of attack to solve the problem based on the information that we now receive, right? Then they're not going to have a problem, okay? Matt, there's the Matt who's in the audience, who Alex and I work with, right? When we first started working with him, we prescribed one solution, which was the exact solution that I used when I was scaling my agency, and it didn't work right off the bat. But we didn't go to Matt and be like, oh, yeah, so this doesn't work. We went, okay, Matt, so based on the data that we've received and based on the feedback that we've gotten, this isn't the best solution. Instead, let's try this. We made the switch, now we're seeing results. And then the second thing is how you deal with it. It's really it really comes down to the volume game, because it's if you had 100 clients, obviously, this is unrealistic, but if you had 100 clients, would you really care if one of them wasn't successful? No. If you had 10 clients, would it bother you that much? No. But when you only have one client, it's you go fishing all day long. You have 100 fish that you've caught. You don't really care if the 101 one gets off the hook. But if you've been sitting out there and you don't have a single fish, and then all of a sudden you finally catch one and it gets off the hook, you're going to be pretty upset. So really front end, and this goes back to the push-up analogy where if you do 10 push-ups a day, you're not going to get as strong as if you do 100 push-ups a day. It's if you continuously to get tens and tens, a bunch of clients that you're doing a free trial with, or, you talk to as many people and you never stop your outreach, right? Like then you're going to learn to do the service delivery quicker because you're going to get more reps in. And then B, you're not going to be as emotionally, you're not going to deal with as much emotional stress because it's like, this is one of 8 clients that you're working with as opposed to one-on-one.
Got it. That makes a lot of sense. Thank you very much.
No
Thank you very
worries.
much. I really appreciate that.
For when I'm doing Facebook ads, what should I split test? The copy in different videos, or is there other things I should try and split test as well?
The first test is apples against oranges. After that, you split test whichever part of your campaign is not performing. So if you're not getting clicks, then it's then split test your creative. If you are getting clicks, but your form isn't converting, then try a new form or try a new offer, all that kind of stuff. So depending on the data that you get after testing apples versus oranges, you then cut the apple or the orange and then split test whatever the worst performing statistic is on the one that won the original first trial.
Right. So I had another question.
Yep.
It happens a lot to me when I get to DM these outreaches. They respond, and when I go in full transparency, they say that seems legit. I'll think about it and get back to you later. But they actually never come back. I DM them every day, and they just don't. They just leave it undelivered.
What's your niche and what's your offer?
Roofing. Obviously, Facebook advertising on roofing niche.
Why did you choose roofing?
Because it's not. I don't think it's that saturated, and I kind of did enough research on that, so I can go on with roofing.
So, why is roofing the best niche that you could have possibly chosen? Tell me, sell it to me. Do you know anything about roofing?
I mean, I don't have information in different niches.
Why should a roofing company trust you?
Because I'm offering them a free trial.
Yeah, but you're still spending their money on ads.
But you got me.
Right? This is what we have to think, right? If we can't answer that question, no wonder we can't get them on a call.
Yeah,
right?
I see.
So, crazy story. Alex has a friend. Actually, you know what? Alex, I'll let you tell the story.
I think he's on this call.
Is he on this call?
Oh,
Wyatt. Yo, Wyatt.
Hello.
Tell your story. What happened yesterday?
But basically yesterday, 2 days ago, Alex kind of introduced me to the whole SMMA space. And I mean, obviously I've known Alex for 4 years now, just through online, interactions. And he was basically telling me to do this SMMA stuff because I mean, I need to make money somehow because I want to fight professionally and I need money for that. Basically how I started was just watching the videos, looking at all the notes that he gave me, which all you guys have access to. And I just basically followed the steps. But the most important thing is finding a niche, in my opinion, that really resonates with you. Because if the niche doesn't resonate with you, then it's going to be very hard to service it. Because if you don't resonate with it, you can't really have a full-on conversation with whoever you are going to be working with eventually. Yesterday, I got my first client in just a day, and the service or the niche that I'm going into is helping jiu-jitsu schools attract more members. And so I just messaged every jiu-jitsu school I could find, and I eventually found one that got back to me, and I got on a call with him, which was just a discovery call. And it ended up going for around 30 minutes. And it wasn't even really me trying to get him to go on to a onboarding call. It was just, we were talking about jiu-jitsu, the fundamentals of it, the philosophy of it, and just the mindset of it. And it was a really easy sell. At the end, he asked me to work for him. He was like, I want to move forward with this. How do I, so on and so on. So the most important thing I would say is find a thing that resonates with you. If you know the potential and resonation equals how well it's going to do, that formula, find one that is at least 90, a 90 out of 100. Because if it's not, it's going to be extremely hard for you to just have conversation with these business owners.
I see. Thank you. So, for example, when I was a kid, I used to be in football training. I did 2.5 years. but I broke my leg and I couldn't continue on. So should I, for example, should I pick that niche because I have more information?
Yeah,
I would-
we have a friend
Better than roofing or flooring or whatever you said you were doing before.
Yeah, we have a friend who works at soccer clinic. Ian, he is in RC. He had got like 6 clients in 30 days. Ridiculous. And he had the same story. He was working with massage therapists. It's like, oh, I don't really know how to talk to a massage therapist. And then he goes to soccer schools and he is sales expert. Like, it's the same story over and over again.
And
Where they're not even sales calls.
I just wanted, just so we can like hammer this in as to like how powerful this is. Like, I want to go over like your timeline. So it was 2 days ago, you like chose your niche like that evening, right?
Yeah.
And you woke up and it was like 7 a.m. you started outreach.
Yeah, it was like 7 a.m. I started outreach, and then I would say about 3 hours or so, that's when I got my first message from him. And then I called him later that day around 3-ish when I got back from the gym. And then, it was literally within a day I got my first client, and I'm already setting up the email automation for him, and I have a onboarding call with him tomorrow.
Okay, so I guess I gotta start again.
So wait, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. 8 hours.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, I should say this, a little bit of backstory. I should say a little bit of backstory. I tried doing like an SMMA about 6 months ago over the summer, or not 6 months ago, like 8 months ago. And I tried doing like healthcare products, just like skincare, just all this like random garbage bullshit that I don't know anything about, obviously. And I was messaging like 150 people a day, just these random skincare brands. I'd be lucky if I got like one response back. And then if I ended up getting on a call, it was just, I don't know what to talk about. Like, I don't know anything about skincare. So it was just really hard to like get them to move forward. And then I just kind of gave up on it because I was like, this just long messaging process that wasn't working. And I was like, Alex, this doesn't work. And then I come back later with a little bit different mindset, pick something that actually resonates with me. And it's just, it's been pretty smooth, and we'll see how it goes.
I see. Thanks a lot, man. This helped a lot, to be honest.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
So yeah.
So it's pretty self-explanatory. All you guys have to do is literally just follow like what they've given you, and you just sit down, put in the work. I've been going since 6 this morning. I've just been doing it nonstop. It's all about how much you want to make money. Just like anything, if you want to be the best baseball player, you got to go in the batting cage for hours. You got to go on the field and do ground balls. It's just what you have to do.
100%. Oh, I'm looking forward to the next couple months for you, Wyatt. It's gonna be insane.
Hope everyone's doing all right. I've been getting a few messages through from some of you guys, and I just wanted to give you all a bit of perspective. A lot of you don't have clients. A lot of you are looking to get clients. Maybe just servicing your first client. Can I share my? I can share my screen.
Yeah.
Okay. I currently have 8 clients, which is great to say. It's really nice on paper, and it looks like I'm killing it, which I am. Just wanted to show you all how many messages I've sent to get to 8 clients. So this is the thing that no one sees. This is the thing that's not pretty, and this is the thing that I do 90% of the time when I was first getting my clients. All of these people have been followed up with.
I can't see it. Or can you, Alex? Can you see it?
Well, I can see the list. The names are too small.
Oh,
That's fine. That's
it's
fine.
loading for me. But if you guys can see it, that's good.
If everyone can see it, then happy days. I've followed up with every single one of these. I've sent over 1,300 messages. I have 8 clients. It's going really well. But to get to that point, you have to go through the first 1,000 messages of getting 0 clients, which fucking sucks. But once you do that, then you know you're going to put in the work to actually get the clients coming in.
Well, yeah, I think there's an underlying thing with this too, because, well, this is something that I've messed up on, and it's the idea of leverage in your beginning, right? Like in the first client challenge, and I'll let you guys know this now. The only thing that people do is set up a social account and then start outreaching. That's it. There's no website. There's no sales script. There's no, service delivery. There's no niche research. It's wake up, outreach.
Can I also
and
input on that,
optimize
Alex?
for the fastest way to do that? Yeah, go ahead.
When you're doing your outreach, how many of you guys are sending video messages after their first response? So you DM them like a just simple message just to get the response. How many of you are DMing a video message after?
I mean, they're like, they can't speak up. And
They can't talk. But
they can only speak up here.
I forgot. But that's something that I would recommend doing. I feel like if I wasn't sending it, because when I first started, I wasn't sending any video messages, and then Alex recommended me yesterday to start sending video messages, and I didn't want to do it. I'm not like a very, I guess, outgoing person. I'm kind of like, I don't like showing my face, and it was kind of uncomfortable for me to do it. But me and Alex sat there for like 30 minutes just doing it, and like until I got the video down. And all it is just a simple video. And I feel like that builds a connection with your potential client that instantly they already start to build that trust with you. And obviously you guys all know that in order to get a client, they have to trust you. You're not going to be able to just like text them, because to you, if you're just texting them, you're just another message. You're just another person in their inbox. You're not a real person. So a video message gives you that like sense of like actual reality. It makes them like, it builds the trust. I would recommend sending video messages, and I guarantee you're going to start getting more at least discovery calls.
Yeah. What was it again? It's like, you're not human. You're not a human being till you send a video message, until they know your voice and your face.
Yeah.
Ivan is just asked in the chat if you send like a new message to everybody or something like that. And it's like, yeah,
it should be a personalized message.
Yeah.
It should be like, hey, so-and-so, this is me. Can we get on a call? I give you a quick call later today. And most of the time they're going to say yes, because they see you're putting in that effort already to send them a video message, which probably not a lot of people are doing. That makes you stand out.
And you only do it to the people that respond to you. Don't send cold loops that are personalized.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Send it personalized videos to everyone that responds back to you. And then that way,
here's another thing that's like so underlooked as well too, and this really goes into like niche resonation as well. So I first witnessed this firsthand with Matt, and then I heard the guy who makes $250,000 a month with his agency literally talk about the exact same thing, and he said like this is the biggest differentiator with like successful outreach and unsuccessful outreach. It's like, learn your niche's lingo. So one of the things that I think is just awesome is how, correct me if I'm wrong, Matt, but like, didn't you tell me that within the first 5 minutes of all your calls, you drop an F-bomb?
Yeah, I purposely swear.
Because people in his niche, they're rough around the edges. It's home improvement. That's the kind of, they're guys who drink beer. Like, that's his niche. Now, if he hopped on a call with a lawyer and said that, I'd probably go a little bit differently, right? And so if your niche is like a casual, it's like, hey man, hey dude, like cool dude, let's, something like that. If your niche is like, very professional, then you keep it very professional with your outreach. And just having that, like, understanding their lingo and talking in their language helps a lot too.
Yeah, definitely. And that's another thing with like the resonation. If you find a niche that resonates with you 9 out of 10, it's going to be a lot easier to get that lingo.
Yeah.
And it's just going to create, the conversations are going to flow so much better.
Like I say, like when Alex and I hit 5K on YouTube, we're going to go live and basically start an agency and get a client in a day. That's going to be our goal. But I'll tell you guys right now, I'm probably going to choose the hockey school niche because I I played hockey for 14 years, and then I coached hockey for 2 years, right? I'm going to hop on my sales call. I tell you this right now. I'm going to hop on my sales call, and when they ask me how I came up with this system, I'm going to make some joke about, oh, well, I turned the puck over at the blue line, and the coach benched me for the rest of the game, and that's when I came up with the system. Right? But that's like only a joke that you could make if you understand hockey. And I'm sure when I hit that joke, the guy on the other end is going to laugh, and I'll probably close them. Just because of that level of like niche resonation.
What happens if you hit 5K in August? You still going to go after hockey schools?
Yeah, I will. Because I know enough about the industry to know about these spring hockey programs, and I would be able to target the spring hockey programs. And yeah, there's like these summer school programs and whatnot that I know. But if I didn't know hockey, like that's like a very like specific thing that only because I coached in the industry and played 14 years, I know, and I can tell who they are and make them a resonation, talk about their summer programs.
Yeah. So what I wanted to ask was, I'm kind of at the crossroads here where, as you're kind of familiar with that of just standardizing the process of service fulfillment.
Yeah.
And my perspective right now with the few paid and free, I have a mix of some paid clients and some free trial clients right now. Not too many because I didn't want to overwhelm myself all at once. So what I was doing was mastering the entire process myself, so I had like an eagle eye understanding of how to maximize client results at every single step of the way. And then I was going to build like an SOP list to standardize everything. And then I was going to use that as a means to kind of like, put it onto media buyers and train them up to then scale it. So would you say that sounds about right? Or do you think it's not worth me kind of being as meticulous as I'm trying to be with, creating the best ads possible?
Well, I wouldn't make assumptions. I wouldn't make assumptions. I would make conclusions based on data that you receive. Okay, so this is actually kind of a funny story, and I can talk about this because it's very relevant to actually the first client challenge. So basically, and I can only say this with 100% conviction that as somebody who spent upwards of probably $50,000 on different courses and programs and all that kind of stuff, the way that we have the level up system, the way that we grade everybody inside of the first client challenge, the way that we host 3 calls a week, like all that kind of stuff, like I've never seen that on the market before. Now, the only reason I say that is because what actually happened 2 or 3 months ago when we first launched it for the first time, we basically had this goal, like our internal goal was like, okay, let's see if we can get 60 people in 60 days. I think we got 60 people in like 8 days. Okay. And there was a period of time where Alex and I were freaking out every single day. Okay. But what ended up happening is the first client challenge today looks completely different than it did back then. And because we just turned on we got a bunch of volume, right? That forced action. Then based on the data, we were able to make tweaks and tweaks and tweaks and tweaks and tweaks into what it is today. And it's like, now we know that it's like, the people who reach level 4 in under 24 hours have like a ridiculously high chance of getting their first client in the same week, right? Where some people take 2 weeks to get to their level 4. Right. And now we have all this data and then we can use. So now we have fully things inside of it that really incentivizes people to get to level 4 in their first 24 hours. But that wouldn't have been possible if we just tried to make assumptions. It was through a bunch of input of volume, and then we made decisions. We didn't even make assumptions. We made decisions and drew conclusions based on the data that we were receiving.
Got it. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I think for me it was just because I've been quite good at being able to convince people to just pay up front, without having to do a free trial. So then it's me really not wanting to kind of just mess around with their money type of thing. Make sure that I actually deliver a home run from day one.
Yeah.
And I think that's the reason I've been a little bit more wanting to kind of master everything from the get-go. But I do see the logic in what you're saying as well, because even if I do that, I'm going to make mistakes along the way anyway.
Yeah.
So, but I just didn't want to, because I just didn't want to funnel like, let's say like 10 clients into the system all at once and then just like pull my hair out and, my hair is already thinning as it is. I don't want to lose it by next week. So,
Yeah.
I just really didn't want to stress myself with that. So, I do see the point that you're making. I think it makes a lot of sense still. Maybe it's just worth getting the data together and testing.
Have you ever gone on a run before?
Oh, of course. A few times.
Like an out and back run?
Yeah, like to my house and back, like a circuit around the neighborhood and stuff.
Okay, like I'm not talking about like a circuit run, like an out and back run.
Oh,
so you're running in a straight line. You run in a straight line outwards, and then you have to turn around and run a straight line backwards.
I don't think so. Not like properly, like not like for a long distance.
Yeah, well, not like directly a straight line, but the point is that you go to a destination and you, like, okay.
Like, I guess
the furthest you'll be from your house is only halfway back.
Yeah. Like when you're running on a treadmill, you can stop anytime. You can stop it anytime, right? And that's what happened. Like when you have a couple clients, like you can stop and you know what I mean? But it's like when you do an out and back run and you run 10 kilometers away from your house, your only option is to turn around and run 10 kilometers back. And because of that forced action, where normally if you were on a treadmill, maybe you would have pulled out at 12 kilometers, because you have no other choice, you end up running, a half marathon.
That's a really good analogy, because I was out running, like I do a lot of running, and I went down this like trail. It's just like they have these trails all around our area. I just ran for like hours, and then I got so far, I was like 8 miles away from home in these woods, and my only option was to go back. Like I can't call my parents, "Hey mom, I'm in the woods. Can you come get me real quick?" I had to run back, and I mean it sucked. I had to walk sometimes, but
yeah. Oh no, for sure. Like we talked about this on the last free call, so I won't go into it a whole lot. If you want the full story, it's my most popular YouTube video to date. It's basically I ran a 100-kilometer ultra marathon and it changed my life. But that happened in full effect. Like there was times where it was like okay, like I was 20 kilometers away from the finish line. I wanted, like, I can't even, you have to watch it to see what actually happened, but it's like my only option, what was I going to do? Like, what else was I going to do other than finish it? Right? And because of that, because I put myself in that environment, well, I now get to say that I ran 102 kilometers in 24 hours.
What do you guys think on recession and how it will affect SMMA industry?
Well, I think in very key circumstances, yeah, it can have a big impact on it. Like if you were running a gym agency when COVID hit, like you're going to be in trouble. That being said, Alex Ramosi transitioned his offer from, how to launch a gym to how to take your current gym online and made a bunch of money.
Oh yeah, he did.
Right. So realistically, like, when these recessions come, like all it does is it just shakes up the market again. And it, opens the door for so many new opportunities, right? As, yes, it looks like on the outside, a lot of doors might be shutting for people, but because of this, like people are always going to have problems that need to be solved.